Always a pleasure to see all of you. Great connecting with everyone again. For those of you who are new, this is my routine kickoff speech at the start of every session introducing what Up Your Game is all about. So, in short, in gist, Up Your Game is a personal development community that was started in November 2015 with the idea of bringing personal development to the masses by providing barrier-free, cost-free, accessible, bite-sized, simplified learning and sharing sessions to the masses. Alright, because a lot of times when we talk about personal development, we are thinking classrooms, we are thinking lectures, we are thinking PowerPoint slides, we are thinking about time-consuming activities that cost a lot of money. So these sessions are free. They're held in casual environments such as this, where you can order your beers, your drinks, your food, take your bites, and every speaker shares straight from the heart, authentic, personal stories that are easy to digest, easy to relate to, in a very simple manner, no PowerPoint slides, no frills. So I would call ourselves the Scoot or AirAsia of the personal development industry, right? So we are frills free, but still get you to the destination, which is good, effective learning, alright? So today we are going to discuss relationships. Every month we do different topics. So the topic for this month is going to be relationships, right? How many of you here deal with relationships? Raise your hands if you deal with relationships. In different ways, different means, you are dealing with relationships all the time. So for those of you a bit far off, you'll probably hear the clash of the sound behind. So if you want to pull your chairs further up, you can just make yourselves comfortable. Floor sitting is also acceptable, so just make yourselves comfortable. Okay, so 3 speakers, or actually 4 speakers rather, 2 plus 1 couple. So the first speaker for the evening is going to be Rishma. So Rishma is a relationships expert. She is a relationships coach. She is the chief matchmaker or heart matcher, right? And so she's going to share with you about her journey. And I won't share much. I'll let her do the talking, not about me. The second speaker is going to be Rabia. So Rabia runs a magazine. She's involved in a lot of other wonderful work. And she's going to share with us her journey. And of course, we also have Jeremy and Pratibha, 2 people who have overcome a lot together. And they are going to share their story. So every time we introduce a speaker, do welcome them with a very, very, very warm round of applause. Because it takes a lot of courage to be in front of so many people, opening up their hearts and their souls, letting you into a very personal, intimate space of theirs, right? So please show a lot of encouragement, show a lot of love, show a lot of support to make it, because almost every one of the speakers was telling me earlier before this that they're nervous. So I don't think, but you see, then again, I'm nervous before every session as well, so I can understand that, right? So, I'm not going to take up much of your time. I don't think you're here to listen to me. You're here to listen to them.
Hi, I'm Pratibha. I teach in a primary school.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me at the back? Yeah! So, my name is Jeremy. I'm from this is not a rock concert, relax. Okay, my name is Jeremy. I'm from a sports marketing agency. I've already introduced myself. Herself, sorry, not him. We've been married and going out for about
3 years.
Three? Okay. We've been married 3 years. And just before we went out, so before we got married, there's just a very quick rundown about myself. I'm the guy who will make the stupidest joke. I'm the one who would say my wife's walking march will be the song of Who Let the Dogs Out and things like that. So that's the kind of person I am.
And for myself, I'm more grounded. I'm the one who's stable in this relationship. And no, we're not the most romantic couple, but there is a lot of love between us, as you will get to know as we talk.
So I know many of you guys, your life is never the same again after you get married. Are you married? Not the same. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so but for us, ours was really different. When we got married, it started a rather interesting journey that we're about to share.
So just 1 month into our marriage, I started having a lot of weird things happening, and I blamed everything to marriage. I always had a reason to why what is happening. For example, first and foremost, there was weight loss. And I'm sorry, but nobody really complains about weight loss. I was like, finally I'm 27, my metabolism is finally getting better, I'm doing something right in life. And then there was also backaches, which I attributed to the new bed because I just moved in with my in-laws. And then there was stress, or I couldn't sleep at night, which again I thought was because of the marriage or the new room. There's always a reason to everything. But there were also more serious things like breathlessness and what else?
I think that's what, more or less that was it. I think it became to a point where I actually told her, look, you need to get a full body checkup. She went for like a normal checkup with the GP. The next thing I get a call. She's like, I need to go to the hospital because they found something seriously wrong with me. And so moving forward, we went to Raffles Hospital. Yeah. We took a x-ray. Oh, sorry. Right. So she took an x-ray and the radiologist actually told me this line. She's like, you have to rush down now to the A&E. They found something wrong with your wife.
Yeah, so basically when they said you have to get admitted, there's a growth, and I was like, shit, I had the suspicion. I didn't know it was going to be that bad, because when you go on Google and you type in your symptoms, it always leads to the worst case scenario. And I thought, that's not me. I've been fit my whole life. I've never been in the hospital, never stayed over, never had a major illness. It just can't be me. So I took out the scan and I tried to be doctor, and I was like, okay, everything here is white, but at the bottom right hand corner I saw a black circular mass, and I was like, no, this is it. I have this is the mass. So I broke down and he was there, and then we went to see the doctor. And I'll continue. So when I saw the doctor, he looked at us and he took a deep breath before he spoke to us, so that told me it's going to be bad, because even the doctor needed some time to compose himself. So he told us, look, it doesn't look good. This whole white thing you see, that's the tumor, and this black thing is the only part of your lung that is visible. And I was like, oh my god. What I thought was the mass was actually my lung, but everything else, the whole x-ray, 17 cm, was the tumor growing in my chest. So of course I was horrified.
And moving forward, we were admitted to a hospital, and for that 2 weeks, I can tell you that's the worst, most intense moment of our lives. She went through non-stop probing and poking and non-stop tests, and every time doctors were like, oh, we'll get back to you on what's happening. And that's, unfortunately, that's how doctors are. And there was a day before she went into biopsy, we had this doctor who came up to our bedside. He used his exact words, oh, by the way, we're going to do a biopsy. There's a size of a soccer ball inside your wife now. And I'm like, I play soccer ball, that's really big. And he was like, oh no, I mean a size 3 ball. I was like, okay. So we were having this kind of thing, and can you imagine our stay in the hospital? And the worst of it all, when she was going into a biopsy, because the tumor had gone all over her throat and everything, they couldn't knock her out. They couldn't put her under general anesthetic. The doctor actually put me aside and said, I think you should call your family to say goodbye to her. And I'm thinking, wait, this is not how a marriage should start. This is not how, this does not happen in my life at least. I'm thinking, this does not end right now. And I'm like, okay, I totally went blank, but in my heart all I knew is I have to be numb, I have to be strong. So I went through this course, I went through this whole thing. She came out of the biopsy.
And I remember that day as well, because as they were wheeling me in, my husband had just gone through a knee operation like 2 weeks before that, and he hadn't recovered well himself, but he was limping and trying to keep up as they were wheeling me to the OT, and they were going really fast, so I could see the stress on his face. His entire concern was obviously me. And first thoughts, I remember when they broke the news to me, my immediate thought was, why me? I've done nothing to deserve this. Actually, nobody deserves it, but I just thought it shouldn't be me, because I'm not an alcoholic, I don't smoke, I've not done drugs, why do I deserve this? And the next morning when I woke up, I just kept telling myself, I wish it was a bad dream. It just felt like a really bad dream, but it was not over.
Yeah, and so what followed suit, we had to do our chemo. They discharged and she had to go through very intensive chemo. And during this chemo is where I would say our relationship got tested. We went through our worst, we went through our best. There are days where I get frustrated with her because she doesn't eat. And I get angry because she needs to eat. That's something she needs to do. But actually, deep down, she was having ulcers in her mouth. She was going through all the chemo. My friends called me the Nazi husband because I made sure she had to follow a timetable. I made sure, like, when anybody visited her, they had to like wash their hands and things like that. I was getting really into it, wear a mask and stuff like that. And this was going on for about good 4 or 5 months. And I think the moment reality really hit me during this course was during that time. There was a person that was very important to us, and that was my father. He actually passed away suddenly, right? And then I was thinking things couldn't have got any worse. Like, here's my wife going through this, and my father, who is so, like, before he died, just very quickly, he was the healthiest person. He blew his birthday cake, he went into his room. The next thing I saw paramedics trying to start his heart. I'm thinking, what is going on right now? So we were in this position, and my father to us was our little, what I would say is, like, I wouldn't say little, our biggest supporter in this whole thing. He was
one of the biggest cheerleaders, and he was constantly checking on me. By the way, I lived with my in-laws after marriage, so they were the ones looking after me, not my mother, as I was going through this process. And my father-in-law was really like a force to be reckoned with. He was this amazing man who made his presence felt. He was really warm. He would ask me how I feel every day, to the point it would be annoying sometimes because I'm in so much pain, but he would keep checking on me to see how I'm doing. So I think his loss made it very real for Jeremy. For him, he realized that death became very tangible, and then he thought about losing me, and I think that was why it was so hard for him.
So at this point of time, I think I was at the lowest. I was thinking, I seriously just lost someone close to me. And here I'm also close to losing somebody. At that point, I really had no strength. I was thinking, I had an amazing family, I had amazing friends who support me, but just on your own, even with that support, you still feel something is not right. I was just like, I'm religious, I prayed, I asked, look, where's my strength going to come? I look up, I look down, I look left and right. But here's the funny thing, all of us don't realize this, our strength actually comes from the person next to you. That my strength was all along sitting next to me at the side of my bed. It was actually her. And this happened when I turned to her. She's looking through her phone, she's on Facebook posting pictures, she's laughing, she's smiling. I'm thinking, wait, that's not how a cancer patient should be behaving. You shouldn't be going on Facebook posting pictures. And then I realized it's a strength. That's why. At that moment, I just knew, like, just looking at her, that's where the strength came. You don't have to look far away for strength. Sometimes it's just next to you, you don't realize it. And then I just knew that the next, like, I'm going to beat this cancer. Like, you just knew it for the next, like, this result will definitely go the way I want it, because she is strong, and that just spurred me to go on.
Yeah, and what's funny is that it's the same thing for me as well. So I got my strength from him as well. And seeing him, I always knew, I stood by my decision to marry Dave. And as I said, I didn't say it, but I had to go against my family to marry him. We are an inter-religious couple, and it's something that didn't go well with my family initially. So I fought for us, and I always knew he was the guy for me. But being unwell, just 1 month into marriage, and seeing how he stepped up, really made me very sure about why I married him. It really showed me what marriage is. And when I said my vows in the church, I always thought I was saying those vows for him. He's had knee operations and all that, so I always thought I have to be the one that takes care of him. I never once thought that he was saying the vows for me, and he had to step it up. So that was really something that showed me real, true, unconditional love, like the speaker earlier said.
And we fight about the stupidest things. She fights about me not cleaning the house. Why is this not done? Why is there a cockroach on the table? And things like that. The usual. But sometimes, and we get angry at each other. But I use, and this is what I advise everybody to do. Just think of a moment you all have gone through. And for us, it's that point where she gave me strength. I just go back and I think, she's driving me crazy. Then again, I start looking, actually, you know what, we went through shit together. Sorry, excuse my language. We went through a lot together. We went through one of the biggest battles in her life. So this fight means nothing. And after a while, I use that to overcome any of our fights we have. And yeah.
Same for me. So I get frustrated very easily sometimes. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to cleanliness and orderliness in the house. Things have to be where they belong, and that, I mean, we are we're definitely opposite in that sense. So every time we fight, and I get really frustrated, I tell myself, why am I fighting? We're both alive. We both love each other. Just let it be. If it means picking up his shirt, tell yourself, if you love your husband, pick it up for him. It's fine, just do it. So that's why I tell myself, and that's how I get by my day. Otherwise, we'll be fighting all the time about housework. So I think cancer really grounded us and showed us that there's really a lot more to life. And the trivial things we really let go these days. We rarely fight. Okay, so we're nearly done. I think we have spoken a lot about how we leaned on each other as a couple for support. And it doesn't just stop at cancer back then. Because anyone who's had a terminal illness knows that the scans, the checks, they continue for 3 months, 6 months. I recently had a scare again, and they call it scanxiety. I get scared every time they find a new growth or a new lump in my body. It's always, for me, it's the fear of the known. I know it's back, and I'm like, oh no, not again. So again, time and time again, whenever I have these fears, again I lean on my husband. Who can I just say, when I was unwell, he took time off from his job. He stayed in the hospital every single day by my side. And thereafter, 3 months later, he even left his job to stay with me after that because my treatment was so long. And he did that because his priority was me, and he didn't even think twice. It was an immediate decision. I'm going to be there for my wife all the way. So he's that kind of person. And even till today, when I have my scanxiety or my like little fears, he's the one I can lean on, and he reminds me that things are going to be fine.
Yeah, so just a little parting note I would have, or give advice I would have is, we all work so much. I mean, this is Singapore, unfortunately. We have our 9 to 6 jobs, some go into overtime. But what I would really advise you all to do is, a job will replace you in a matter of seconds. But the person next to you, that can never be replaced. So there's anything I ask people to do is just go and take time off, cut away, just spend that time with that person. Because you really never know when you're going to be in a situation where you don't want to be, hey, this is my last few months with this person or my last few weeks. Because I've been in that situation, and trust me, it's a feeling you don't want to ever go through. So really just take your time off, be away from work, be away from things, connect. I mean, I'm always on my phone, that aside, but be away and, just spend time when you have to. I think that's all. Alright, thank you so much.